Hey y'all, welcome back to Not So Big Matt. I'm Matt. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been tuning in previously, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to do my weekly meal prep. It's Saturday morning. It's not super early, but early enough for Saturday. I've done 2 crock pots with about 4 to 4.5 pounds of chicken breast that have been cooking overnight on low. I've already shredded one of them because I got a little gung-ho this morning and just started doing it without thinking. I've still got the chicken from the other crock pot to shred up, which I'll show you here in a little bit. My plan for the week is Elena wanted some sort of a taco chicken type thing, so I'm going to do shredded chicken with taco sauce, salsa, taco seasoning, and sauteed peppers and onions, and we'll let that kind of do its thing, cooking a little bit more. After I get it all shredded, we'll put it back in the crock pot, let it cook for a little while. And then for me for the week, I'm going to do shredded chicken with I'm going to do bacon and peppers and onions and probably barbecue sauce. I was thinking about doing honey mustard and then kind of do, I don't know, sort of like the flavor that you would get from Alice Springs chicken at Outback, but I think I'll just do the barbecue sauce for the ease of it and for the lower point value. I'm also going to add peppers and onions in mine, so it'll be chicken, peppers and onions, bacon, and barbecue sauce, I believe. And then we'll probably have the option to top that with some shredded cheese or maybe some Good Thins corn crackers or something. I mean, really, you got a lot of choices. You can do whatever you want. But this is basically going to be the base for the meals for the week. So I guess I will move the camera around here and kind of try to show you what I got going on. I was doing a lot of other prep last night also, so my dishes are a little bit out of whack. So just if you happen to see a frame or two where my dishes are piled up in the sink, please don't hold that against me. It's been a little bit busy, and I want to try to get these videos done and get them so I can post. So the cleanup will come after all this meal prep, and hopefully it won't take too long. Alright, let me get into it. Alright, so over here, this crock pot was going to be for Elena's shredded chicken, and it's already been shredded. It was basically, I put the chicken breast in the crock pot raw with, I did salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, ground cumin, and water. That's it. Cooked it. It's been in the crock pot for about 12 hours. And then this one is the one that I'm going to do for me. And I did similar to on this one. I did salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of cayenne pepper, and Italian seasoning, I think is what I did in this one. So I'm just going to bust it up with the spoon. I think I said in a previous video when I was doing the lasagna soup last week, I said I hate to use forks because it's just such a pain. I can, and I'm not looking for a super fine shred anyway. I just need it to kind of be busted up. This has only been out of the crock pot for about 10 to 15 minutes, so it's still too hot to do with my hands. But really, I'm just kind of busting it up to make it easier to add my stuff into. Try to pull the bigger chunks back up here, hit them, kind of scratch at it if it doesn't want to break up, sort of scratch at it a little bit. I like if I'm making something that's not like a soup or something that needs to be a fine shred, I like larger chunks. So I'm not gonna hit it super hard to try to bust everything super small. Just kind of knock it into little chunks, and I'm good to go. So let's sort of see, what does this look like? It looks pretty good to me. I'm not really going to fret over that too much more than that. So, alright, the chicken's shredded. I'm going to get the bags in the crock pot, the fresh bags, because I cook in one bag, I'll pull it, and then throw that out. And then I will put new bags in to add all the mix to it. So, let me get those crock pots ready and lined, and I will get back into it. Alright, so I got my crock pot liners back in, and this is really going to be easy. I'm just going to dump the shredded chicken in. Okay, shredded chicken in. Pull out whatever didn't come out. That's it. And then I'm going to get my... Oh, it's over here on the counter. I'm going to get my taco sauce and my salsa, and it's going to be a lot like it was last week. We're just going to take this container of thick and chunky mild salsa, the whole thing 0 points, and I'm going to dump the whole thing in there. This is just the same thing I did last week. She really loves this, like the flavor profile of the tacos type stuff, so it works out, and it's really easy for me, so that makes me happy. I've still got a little bit of that mild taco sauce from last week in the fridge, and so we've got Taco Bell mild sauce, 0 points. This stuff's amazing, and I'm just gonna put some of that in there. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I mean, that's probably about 3 ounces. Actually, probably not that much. Probably about 2 ounces. This whole bottle is 7.5 ounces. That was probably about 2 ounces. And then I'm going to get some taco seasoning. And I'm going to do... I probably should have been a little bit more prepared and already had this stuff out, but I didn't. It is what it is. Alright. So, here we go. I'm going to do, this is what I got. I've got Tones or Tony's, I'm not sure, taco seasoning. I got this at Sam's quite some time back. It's got a really good flavor. It's not my favorite, but it's still good. My favorite is the Old El Paso brand. I like it better. I don't know why. It's just, I guess it's because of what I grew up on. But use whatever taco seasoning that you like or that you have available, or you can make your own. And I have done that a few times. So I'm just going to do like 2 tablespoons, I think. So there's 1. And there's 2. And I believe that's going to be it for that. I'm going to just give it a little mix, and I may add a little bit of water to this to kind of get it so it's not super, well, basically I may add a little bit of water to it so it doesn't burn into the bottom of the pot, because without any liquid in a slow cooker it tends to happen like that. So, and then what I'll do is I'm going to saute those peppers and onions here in just a little bit, and when I do, I'll dump those in. They'll add a little bit more liquid to it too, like that'll help loosen this whole mix up just a tick. But I think I'm going to add I'm going to add a can of Rotel to this. The Rotel is also 0 points. So let me do that. Let me go ahead and hit it with some Rotel. I need some liquid. I was going to do water. We're going to do Rotel. I kind of usually just play these things by ear anyway when I'm crock-potting things and making mixes and stuff. So let's hit it with a jar of that, or a can of that. So that was just the original, no salt added, diced tomatoes with green chilies, Rotel brand. You could use the off brand. Just make sure you're scanning those cans and looking at the ingredients, because I have seen some that have like they might have tomato juice concentrate or something in there that's not or it might be tomato paste. There's some things that are not 0 points in the tomato world, so you have to be careful and just make sure you're scanning your cans. So if I find a can of tomato product that I like and it's 0 points, 9 times out of 10 I will always go back to that product regardless of where I'm at. So, you know, there's a chance that there's probably some off-brand that I could be buying to save just a little bit of money. I mean, it's marginal. But I know for a fact that this is 0 points. So I usually just go and grab it. Like I don't think about it. That's just what I snatch. So alright, I'm going to put the lid on that, and I'm going to turn it on low for a little bit, and when I get the peppers and onions sauteed, then I will bring those over and dump those in with it too. We'll give it another stir, and you can see kind of where we're at and what it looks like, and when we get closer to the end, I will make sure to show you the finished product. But that's going to be it. I'm going to throw the lid on, kick it on low. Alright, so let's get started on the barbecue chicken one. So here's all my shredded chicken. I'm going to dump that into the bucket. All that came out pretty good. And I've got I had about 8 ounces of sweet and spicy sugar-free barbecue sauce, the G. Hughes brand. And then I had about an ounce ish, about an ounce or ounce and a half. I measured it out, but I ended up kind of watering this one down just a little bit because there was so little left of the original G. Hughes. I watered it down a little bit. I ended up with a total of 12 ounces. Sort of kind of hard to see. I'd have to tilt the can, but so I watered it down a little bit. I ended up with about 8 ounces of the sweet and spicy, about an ounce to an ounce and a half of the original. I just put it in my app as 12 ounces of sweet and spicy because it's the same. So I'm gonna dump all that in here. If you haven't tried the G. Hughes barbecue sauce and you can tolerate the artificial sweeteners, it's really, really good stuff. I know some people just cannot tolerate the artificial sweeteners. Lucky for me, I can, and that's part of what helps to make my weight loss journey a lot easier, because I gotta have the sweet stuff, and without it, I don't know what I would do. So there's a little bit of sauce left in the bottom of the sweet and spicy bottle. So I just put some water in the bottom of it. You can see the water splashing around there. I'm going to shake this bottle out. Try to get the rest of it because I need some water anyway. So try to get the rest of the flavor out of the thing. Alright, that's good. Now I'm going to hit that with, just because like I said the other day, I kind of like a little bit of spice, so I'm going to just, it's going to be, well, you see, a little shake of crushed red pepper. just for a little extra added heat. And then I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of diced jalapeno. I've got the Mount Olive diced jalapeno peppers, and you don't have to do this. This is a half tablespoon that I'm using, so I'm gonna do probably about 2 tablespoons of jalapeno. You don't have to do these spicy things. You don't have to add this. This is just something that I'm adding. You know, this could easily be done with the original G. Hughes barbecue sauce or the hickory, if that's your favorite. And then you don't have to add these spices and stuff. This is just something that I'm doing for my preference, and I think it'll make for a really good flavor profile. Something that I really enjoy. Alright, and I've got 11 slices of the Great Value fully cooked bacon that you buy in the cooler section. It's already cooked. I'm going to dice all that up, and then I'll come back and throw it in. Alright, so this is the 11 slices of bacon. So I had put that in the oven and baked it for about 7 minutes to get it crisp. That way it would crumble super easy. And I don't like my bacon to be floppy at all. I can't stand floppy bacon. The fattiness is not something that I'm okay with. So it's got to be super crisp. And then I just ran my knife through it, which it crumbled super easy. I could have done it with my hand, but it is what it is. So, alright, there's that. 11 slices of bacon. Whoops. And now I'm just going to give that a little mix and go ahead and get it turned on low. I'm going to go ahead and flip it on now. Alright, it's on. I'm going to give this a good mix, and then I'm going to get those peppers and onions going, and I will hop back to this and add the peppers and onions here in just a little bit when I get them ready. So basically I'm just going to cut up a bunch of, I've got a couple of green peppers, and I think I've got a red and a yellow pepper. I'm just going to run my knife through those real quick, and I've got a couple of onions. I'll do the same thing with those. And I may put them I'm thinking about putting them in the oven and just roasting them off, because it'll be a lot easier that way than trying to saute them in the pan. It's not going to matter either way. I think it's going to be relatively the same regardless of what method I decided to do. So I'll probably just end up putting them in the oven just to make it easier. So when I get those finished up, get them ready, I will hop back on and show you what I've got and what I've done. Alright guys, so I went ahead and diced up my peppers and onions, or cut them up in strips. I ended up with 3 green peppers, 1 red pepper, and 1 yellow pepper. And I had 2 small to medium sweet onions. And I've got those all diced up. And I'm going to go ahead and turn some heat on to them. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of pepper. I do the bottom thing a lot, but it's a lot of noise for you guys to have to listen to. So I'll shake some pepper off here. And then I'll hit it with a little bit of salt. The salt will help bring the sweat the liquid out of the peppers and onions. And I'm going to use a little bit of cooking spray, and I'm going to get these sauteed. Kind of just get them soft. Maybe caramelize them a little bit. Try not to do that a whole lot. I'll be adding a little bit of water here and there to get them to steam down. To get them soft to start with. So I'll come back once I've got them finished cooking, and I'll show you what I got, and then we'll move back over to the crock pots, and I'll show you what I do as I put the stuff together. Alright guys, so I've had this kind of sitting here chilling for a little bit, waiting for the peppers and onions to get finished. So I got those all kind of cooked down some, a little bit of caramelization, not a whole lot. Most of these peppers and onions are going to end up going into the taco chicken, but I'm going to do a few spoonfuls into this barbecue that I did for myself for the week. So I'm going to do we'll do 3 spoonfuls. I want to have the majority of it go into hers. I'll do just a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do in mine, in this one. And then let me give that a quick stir. It smells so good. I know it's not a very, you can't see the barbecue sauce. There's no color of barbecue sauce in this. But as soon as you open the lid, it smells just like barbecue. And having this little extra pop of veg flavor and all that is going to be awesome. So, and also, since we had those couple of different multicolored peppers, it just makes it look really good. So, alright, so that's going to be it on mine. I'm going to let this kind of keep chilling out for a little while, and then eventually we'll get them portioned out. I did steal a little bit of this out at lunchtime and put it on a toasted bagel thin, one of the Thomas bagel thins that I toasted in the toaster, and it was friggin' amazing. So I think once everything's all said and done, I'm probably going to end up with, I believe it's going to be 1 point per serving. I believe it will. Don't hold me to that yet. I'd have to check the macros on everything that I've put in so far. But I think, or check the points values on everything I've put in so far, but I think it's going to end up being 1 point per serving. And really anything from 6 to 11 servings. So it could go large portions or smaller, like little smaller bowls or whatever. And I'll kind of get an idea of that when I go to bowl it up. So let me move you over to the other crock pot, and I'm not going to do it motion like I'm going to pop this off, and then we'll go over to the other crock pot and I'll show you what we're going to end up doing with it. Alright, so now we're back over here to the taco chicken, and let's get this set out of the way, and we're going to finish off. We'll put the rest of the peppers and onions that I've got in this one, and we'll try to give it a quick stir. Alright, let me put this down, and let's give it a toss. And give this a toss. This smells really, really good too. It looks like there's a lot more too in this pot. It's just because this is my smaller crock pot. The other one is my 8, I think it's an 8-quart pot. And I think this is a 6 or 7. It's a much smaller one. Alright, so that's pretty much it on it. I'm gonna, like I said, I'll let these sit and sort of simmer and chill out for a little while. But I think this one is probably going to end up being 0 points per serving. It may end up being 1, but I don't think it will. The taco seasoning will be the only thing that carries points, best I know, because the Rotel, the salsa, and the taco sauce, all that was 0. So I think the only thing that's going to carry any points at all will be the taco seasoning, but I don't think there was enough in there to cause a point value based on the amount that I'm going to end up portioning out of these. So that's it for now. I'm going to put the lids back on these and let them sort of simmer out for a bit. I've just got them on warm right now. Basically just keeping them heated and keeping them going. Everything's cooked through and finished. We've got too much going on today to get to the portioning right now, so I'm going to leave them on warm. I'll come back in a little while and we'll go ahead and get them portioned out and show you what it looks like as our fully done meal prep, what we end up with as far as our servings, the points values, and I'll try to do the calories on both. So, alright, thanks for sticking with me so far, and I'll check back with you in a bit. Alright, so now we're back over here to the taco chicken, and let's get this set out of the way, and we're going to finish off. We'll put the rest of the peppers and onions that I've got in this one, and we'll try to give it a quick stir. Alright, let me put this down and let's give it a toss. And give this a toss. This smells really, really good too. It looks like there's a lot more too in this pot. It's just because this is my smaller crock pot. The other one is my I think it's an 8-quart pot. And I think this is a 6 or 7. It's a much smaller one. Alright, so that's pretty much it on it. I'm gonna, like I said, I'll let these sit and sort of simmer and chill out for a little while. But I think this one is probably going to end up being 0 points per serving. It may end up being 1, but I don't think it will. The taco seasoning will be the only thing that carries points, best I know, because the Rotel, the salsa, and the taco sauce, all that was 0. So I think the only thing that's going to carry any points at all will be the taco seasoning, but I don't think there was enough in there to cause a point value based on the amount that I'm going to end up portioning out of these. So that's it for now. I'm going to put the lids back on these and let them sort of simmer out for a bit. I've just got them on warm right now, basically just keeping them heated and keeping them going. Everything's cooked through and finished. We've got too much going on today to get to the portioning right now, so I'm going to leave them on warm. I'll come back in a little while and we'll go ahead and get them portioned out and show you what it looks like as our fully done meal prep, what we end up with as far as our servings, the points values, and I'll try to do the calories on both. So, alright, thanks for sticking with me so far, and I'll check back with you in a bit. Alright guys, so we've got everything portioned out. I ended up with 8 servings of the shredded barbecue chicken with peppers and onions, and I ended up with 6 servings on the salsa chicken, or the taco chicken. And so the calories, looks like the taco chicken ended up at 431 calories per serving. I probably could have made that a little bit less by reducing the amount of chicken in those, because there's only 6 servings. We probably could have went 8 easy, and maybe even a little bit farther with them, but we're out of smaller bowls, so we're using what we got. Ended up at 431 calories, 17.9 grams of carbs, 9.2 grams of fat, and 67.3 grams of protein per serving. So and 0 points. That's 0 points. The shredded barbecue bacon chicken, I ended up with 8 servings. I only got 7 bowls out here. This is 2 servings. I just didn't have enough. I've got not enough smaller bowls. I didn't have an extra bowl to do it with. So 8 servings. I'm going to label that one as 2 servings. But it ended up 330 calories per serving, 8.2 grams of carbs, 10.9 grams of fat, and 49.3 grams of protein, and 1 point per serving. So 1 point barbecue bacon chicken, and then 0 point taco chicken. Both of them have peppers and onions in them. They're both delicious. So what we'll probably do, or I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do with mine, I will end up with about at least a 3 point or 4 point lunch, depending on how much cheese I add to it. But I'm going to probably top mine with this right here. Let me grab it. I've got some Great Value shredded Fiesta Blend reduced fat cheese, and I think that it comes to 1/3 of a cup is, let me verify, I think 1/3 of a cup is 3 points. It is. 1/3 of a cup is 3 points, and I probably won't put 1/3 of a cup. What will happen if I go less than that? Let's see. If I go 1/4 cup, it'll be 2 points. That'll make it a 3 point barbecue bacon cheesy chicken, which I think will be pretty amazing, with 1/4 cup of cheese on it. And then the salsa chicken, we may do the same thing with it. It really just depends on what Elena decides that she wants with hers. It would be really good in a tortilla wrapped up, or I mean, I ate the barbecue kind on a bagel thin earlier, and it was delicious. So there's a lot of things you could do with it. You could add some Good Thins crackers to the salsa kind, but basically that's what we're going to do for meal prep. That's what we're going to have for our lunches and probably some dinners next week. I hope that if you think it looks good, I hope you'll try it. I'll try to link the recipes in the description, and I'll also include the macros and the points values so that you'll have them. And if you try it, let me know what you think. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video and hope that you enjoyed it. And I hope that if this is your first time here, you'll hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get notified when I upload new content. And I will check back with you next time. Thanks for joining me.